My fiancé announced, "I'm hyphenating my last name with my ex-boyfriend's, for career reasons." I nodded. Sounds reasonable. Then I updated our wedding invitations to list me as still unsure if I'll attend. Her bridesmaids were calling within minutes. I'm 31, male, and was reviewing wedding venue bills at the kitchen table when my fiancée, Nora, 29, walked in with what she called her professional decision face. "Babe, I need to talk about my name after we marry." I assumed she'd keep her maiden name, fine by me. "Sure, what's the plan?" "I'm going to hyphenate." "Cool, lots of people do that." "Not with your name, with Lucas's." I set down my coffee. "Lucas, your ex?" "It's for professional reasons." All my research papers are published as Nora Bennett Reynolds. Changing it now would tank my academic credibility. For context, Nora dated Lucas Reynolds for 4 years. They split 3 years ago. We've been together 2.5 years, engaged for 6 months. Our wedding is 2 months away. "You never took his name." "You weren't married." She fidgeted. "Well, no, but I started using it professionally when we were together, for networking clout. The Reynolds name has pull in academia, so you've been publishing under your ex's name our entire relationship? It's not like that. It's just business. I studied her, really studied her. And after we marry, you'll be Nora Bennett Reynolds, right?" "No, that's too much. I'll stick with Nora Bennett Reynolds. So you won't take my name at all but keep your ex's?" "You're making this personal when it's purely practical." "Sounds reasonable," I said, opening my laptop. "Totally get it." She looked relieved. "Really? Thank God, I thought you'd lose it." "Nope, all good." I pulled up our wedding website, changed the header from Nora and Caleb's wedding to Nora and Caleb's wedding, attendance TBD, and updated the invite section. "Join us to celebrate Nora Bennett Reynolds and Caleb Wright." "Still unsure if I'll attend. What are you doing?" "Making my own professional announcement." Her phone buzzed instantly. Bridesmaid number 1, Chloe, called. "What's this about Caleb not showing up to your wedding?" Nora snatched the phone. "It's nothing." "He's being petty," I called out, loud enough for Chloe to hear. "Ask her about keeping Lucas's name." The room went silent. Then Chloe's voice. "Lucas? Your ex, Lucas? Are you out of your mind?" Update 1. The bridesmaids went into full crisis mode, and it's been a riot to watch. First, they tried a group intervention. All 4, Chloe, Mia, Harper, and Nora's sister, Elise, showed up at our apartment while Nora was at work. Chloe took the lead. "Caleb, stop this immature nonsense. You're humiliating Nora. She's humiliating herself by keeping her ex's name." Mia tried the empathy route. "You don't get academia. Publishing credentials are everything. She never married him. It's not her legal name. She's been using it professionally while dating me, pretending to be tied to him. She loves you. The name's meaningless. If it's meaningless, she can change it." Harper, the blunt one. "You're really going to ruin your wedding over this?" "I'm not ruining anything. I'm just being transparent about my doubts, like Nora was transparent about using her ex's name for 2.5 years. They left when Nora got home and found them there. The fight was legendary. "You had my bridesmaids ambush you?" "Without me? They ambushed me. You've been whining to them about how unfair I am." "You are unfair. It's just a name. Then take mine." "I can't. My whole career is tied to pretending I'm linked to my ex." She crashed at Elise's that night. But here's where it gets spicy. My friend Owen works at the same university as Nora, different department, but academic circles are tight. He poked around for me. Turns out Lucas Reynolds isn't just an ex. His father, Dr. Charles Reynolds, is the dean of Nora's department. Lucas is an associate professor there. Every one of Nora's published papers, co-authored with Lucas. Every conference she's spoken at, organized through the Reynolds family's academic network. She's not keeping his name for recognition, she's keeping it for access. I texted her. How many of your papers would have been published without Lucas's name on them? She read it. No reply. Then Lucas himself called me. Lucas. Hey, Caleb, I heard about the name thing. I had no idea she was still using it. Really? Well, I knew she used it professionally, but I figured she'd stop when you got married. It's weird for me too. Then why haven't you said anything? Long pause. My dad values her work. He thinks she's great for the department. I was told to keep quiet. So, your dad's protecting your ex's career and she's using your name to keep that protection? When you say it like that, there's another way to say it? He hung up. Update 2. Nora came home with what she thought was a solution. I'll hyphenate both names, Bennett Wright Reynolds. No. Why not? Because you're still including your ex's name. That's not a solution. It's you getting everything you want plus my name as a consolation prize. You're being ridiculous. I'm being consistent. You want to be a Reynolds professionally? Stay single personally. That's when she revealed the real problem. I already submitted my tenure application as Bennett Reynolds. Changing it now means resubmitting everything. It could delay tenure by years. You applied for tenure without telling me. I was going to surprise you when I got it. With your ex's name attached? She threw up her hands. Why are you so fixated on Lucas? I'm not. You are. You're literally clinging to his name forever. That's not... What do our future kids call themselves? Right? Or do they get stuck with Reynolds too? She paled. I hadn't thought about kids. Of course not. You're too focused on your career built on your ex's family name. Then came the big guns. Her mom, Vivian, called. Caleb, darling, Nora says you're having doubts about the wedding. I'm having doubts about her keeping her ex's name. It's just practical, dear. You understand, would you have taken your ex's name for practicality? That's different. How? I wasn't building a career. So your daughter's choosing her career over her marriage? Silence. She can have both. Not with me. Vivian tried another tack. We've paid deposits, venue, catering, flowers. I'll cover half. That's not the issue. Guests are coming from everywhere. They can still come. I just might not be there. You're not serious. Ask your daughter if she's serious about marrying Lucas's name. I mean me. The next morning, I woke to Nora on her laptop, typing like a maniac. What's that? Proving my point. She'd made a PowerPoint on why keeping Lucas's name was logical. Graphs, citations, a timeline of her publications. Slide 12. Cost-benefit analysis of name change. I laughed. Genuinely laughed. You made a presentation? You're being absurd. This is my career. And this was supposed to be our marriage. She slammed the laptop shut. Maybe we should postpone the wedding. Maybe we should cancel it. We locked eyes. Finally, she said, I'm not changing my professional name. Then I'm not changing my RSVP status. Update 3. Things have completely imploded, and the entitlements hit cosmic levels. Nora went behind my back, emailing all our guests that the wedding website was compromised and to ignore the RSVP changes, assuring them the wedding was on track. I sent my own email an hour later with screenshots of our texts about the name issue. Subject line, not compromised, just truthful. The family fallout was instant. Her dad, Richard, called, Son, you're shaming my daughter. She's shaming herself by clinging to her ex's name. It's just business. Marriage isn't business unless she's marrying me for business reasons too. He hung up. Then something unexpected. Nora's grandmother, Beatrice, 82, reached out, no filter. Caleb, dear, about my granddaughter. What's that? She dated that Reynolds boy for his family name. She told me she'd never have gotten into that PhD program without his father's endorsement. She used him, and now she's using you for stability while keeping her foot in his door. I love her, but she's always been strategic, gets it from her mom. Why tell me this? Because you're a good guy who deserves better than being a fallback plan. That night, I got petty but necessary. I called the venue and pulled my payment portion. Nora had insisted on a fancy golf club, surprise, where the Reynolds family are members. It needed both our cards on file. Without mine, they demanded full payment up front. Nora called, screaming, "The venue says you canceled payment?" "Yep. The wedding's in 2 weeks." "What wedding?" "I haven't decided if I'm attending, remember? They want $15,000 now or they'll cancel." "Better call Lucas. I'm sure the Reynolds name can help." She actually did, called Lucas to get his family to cover the venue. Lucas called me an hour later. "Dude, your fiancée asked me to pay for your wedding venue." "She's not my fiancée anymore." "She doesn't seem to know that." "She will soon." The next day, Nora did something wild. She met with a lawyer to explore suing me for breach of promise over our engagement. The lawyer, a friend of a friend who tipped me off, said, "You want to sue your fiancé for not marrying you while you keep your ex's name?" She stormed out. Update 4. The week before our supposed wedding was a spectacle of entitlement. Nora moved to her parents but kept showing up at the apartment to collect things, really trying to guilt me with staged crying fits. I installed a security camera, caught her rehearsing her tears in the hallway before ringing the bell. Then came her ultimatum email, CC'd to both families. "Dear Caleb, after deep thought, I'm willing to compromise. I'll legally change my name to Wright, but publish as Bennett Reynolds. This is my final offer. If you don't accept, I'll proceed with the wedding alone and explain to our guests why you abandoned me over something so minor. Love always, Nora." I replied all, "Dear Nora, a marriage where you take my name legally but use your exes professionally isn't a compromise. It's a lie. You'd be Mrs. Wright at home, Mrs. Reynolds at work. I won't be a part-time husband. Also, a wedding alone is just a party. Caleb. P.S. Still undecided on attendance. Her bridesmaids lost it, creating a group chat called Save This Wedding. Chloe. You're ruining her life. She's crying nonstop. Harper. The deposits are non-refunded. Elise. I'm her sister, and even I think you're right, but just give in. I sent each a Venmo request for $3,750, their share of the wedding if they cared so much. They all left the chat. Here's the kicker. Owen dug deeper. All of Nora's papers, co-authored with Lucas. He did 90% of the work. Nora was essentially a name-only co-author, riding his coattails. Lucas's new girlfriend, Sophia, found out and was furious. She called Nora, demanding she stop using Lucas's name or face the university ethics board for fake co-authorship. Nora called me, sobbing, "Lucas's girlfriend is threatening me. Good. My career could be over. The career built on your ex's name? That career? You don't get it. Without those papers, no tenure. Maybe you should have done your own work instead of hitching to the Reynolds train." I did work. Under another man's name, while engaged to me. She hung up. Final update. I woke on what would have been our wedding day to 73 texts from bridesmaids, both families, random guests, and Nora. Highlight. Nora at 3 a.m. I'm at the venue, in my dress. If you don't show, I'll never forgive you. I replied, I never forgave you for keeping Lucas's name. Guests are even I went, not to marry, but to see the chaos. Arrived at the venue in jeans and a hoodie. The place was decked out, guests confused. Nora was in the bridal suite, unraveling. Her dad, Richard, approached. "Come to your senses?" "Nope." I handed him the ring. "Just returning this." "You're doing this? Here? Now?" "She's keeping her ex's name." "Here." Now Vivian tried. "Caleb, think about what you're throwing away. A future where my wife publishes as her ex's? I've thought about it." Nora emerged. Full gown, full makeup, full delusion. "You came." She ran toward me. To say goodbye. She stopped. What? I'm not marrying someone who values her ex's name over our relationship. It's just a name. Then change it. I can't. Then I can't marry you. The room watched. Guests filmed. Elise tried spinning it as performance art. Nora's last ditch. If you leave, I'll tell everyone you're gay. I laughed, loud. Go for it. At least they'd get why I don't want to marry someone obsessed with her ex. Plot twist. Lucas and Sophia were there. Nora invited them to prove no bad blood. Sophia stood. Actually, Nora, tell them how you asked Lucas to leave me last week so you could keep using his name without drama. Silence. Lucas, stunned. You what? Nora went pale. That's not... I didn't... Sophia held up her phone. I have the texts. You said, if you cared about my career, you'd understand why I need this. Lucas stood. We're out. And Nora, I'm filing to remove you from all future publications. Use your own name. They left. The Reynolds family left. Half the guests left. Nora turned to me, mascara streaming. This is your fault. No, it's yours. You chose a name over a marriage. I left. The aftermath? Glorious. Per multiple sources, Nora held her reception anyway. 20 of 200 guests showed up. She gave a speech about choosing herself, posted on social media. Comments were brutal. The university launched an ethics probe into her publications. Lucas's dad pulled her from 2 upcoming conferences. She moved to her parents. Couldn't afford the apartment alone. Her tenure application was rejected. Last week, she texted from a new number. I would have changed it eventually. Me. Would've. Could've. Didn't, she replied. I'm keeping Reynolds professionally. It's who I am. Me. Cool. Stay single, professionally too blocked. I'm thriving. Started dating Ava from my climbing gym. First thing she said, I don't use my real name on social media. Too many creeps. When I told her about Nora, she laughed for 10 minutes. She wanted to keep her ex's name? Was she trying to win him back or what? We're taking it slow, but she's already said if we marry, she's taking my name. Right sounds fierce. To everyone asking, no regrets. Nora showed her true colors, someone who'd pick a prestigious name over a real partnership. She wanted to be Dr. Bennett Reynolds more than my wife. Good luck with that career built on someone else's name, Nora. Hope it's worth it. Oh, and Beatrice called last week. You dodged a missile, dear. She's on dating apps as Dr. Bennett Reynolds. The delusion goes on.